As I told you, SAP S4 HANA Excellence Sales is, we are having this as a big course, we are having it, right? So earlier we were having a one course in SAP SD. Now we are having a, SAP S4 HANA Excellence course. And within Excellence also, we would be having a. Don't forget to subscribe our channel and click on bell icon to update yourself with latest SAP videos. Multiple small bundle courses has been created. Why we are doing that? Because our every course content, we try to bring it in 40 to 50 hours of delivery. And believe me that in each of the modules, there's so many things has been added. There have been so many simplifications, and there is so many objects has been added that individual things itself is getting bigger. I know that some people are having a course where they're covering SD, PP still together in 40 to 50 hours. Now I'm thinking to put in the next 6 months a course only on AATP, Advanced Available to Promise, that will go 30 to 40 hour course. That much of detail, that much of new functionalities has been added into the topics. So in this one, I would be quickly taking you through that. If you are a SAP SD consultant, you are working on SAP SD ECC, and you want to jump to SAP S4 HANA, okay? And in this jump from ECC SD to S4 HANA, what are the key changes are there? What are the things you need to focus on? What are the key objects would be there? In each of the object which I would be touching here, everything is kind of a 2 to 3 hours I need to take if I need to take a detailed explanation. So today's session, I would be giving you a 10,000 feet or 5,000 feet overview, sitting as a SAP SD consultant, looking towards SAP S4 HANA, what kind of new things you need to learn, what kind of new things you need to observe, so that you can give a best delivery to your clients when you move to SAP S4 HANA. Now, let me tell you that I'm into the multiple SAP S4 HANA projects as an advisor, as a solution architect, playing multiple different roles. And I clearly see that the functionality and the features which has been delivered in SAP S4 HANA, it's hardly 5 to 10% has been absorbed by the companies, by the clients. And why 5 to 10%? Major reason I see, because of the consultants. There are also always a business mindset, but consultants are there to change the business mindset, isn't it, right? So consultants are not upgraded. They are still stick to ECC processes. They don't know what are the new things are there, what are the Fiori. They don't feel comfortable with the new things because they have not upgraded, upskilled to that. That's why when they are not confident, they don't speak about it. They only speak about the core ECC part. They are confident with it. And those things has been discussed. So business ended up, even without knowing, they ended up doing a lot of extra configurations, enhancements, without knowing that there are the new things which has been added. So let's go through that one. I would focus on this part, simplification. That is the bigger part, but I will quickly touch base on some of the key concept, which, okay, let me tell you, how many of the people are here who have only worked on ECC project? Only work on ECC project. They have never worked on S4 HANA. Me on the chat window, quickly. Let us check. How many people are here who has only worked on ECC project, okay, and not worked on S4 HANA project? Me on the chat window. So Prasad, Srinivasan, Vikas, we have only worked. They have only worked on the ECC. Pavan, I know there would be multiple people are there. Okay, Keshav is there. Now, how many people are there who has worked on S4 HANA projects, but they have never used Fiori? Okay, worked on S4 HANA projects, but they have never used Fiori. Me on the chat window. If you have worked on S4 HANA project and you have never used Fiori, quickly. Siddhalinga is there. Okay. Who else worked on S4 HANA but never used Fiori? Raj, Fiori for another modules, but not for SD. Okay, so when I am asking this question, keep on responding over the chat. Now, what is the reason to ask this question is it's a scientific program. In all of my trainings, I would be asking the questions. So what happened when I ask a question and you type on your keyboard, so your focus come back and you gave me 20 minutes. Your mind would be able to concentrate only in this session in continuous for 20 minutes, not more than that. Then it would be diverting into, Arey, Monday ko kya karna hai? What is happening on Monday? I need to start my day. What are the things I need to do? A lot of things, so your mind would be diverted, right? So when I ask the question, try to type in the chat. As soon as you will type in chat, you are giving next 20 minutes to me. So that's why in frequency, I would be asking this question to bring back your focus into this discussion. Okay, so keep on chatting, keep on answering on the chat. So there are the people worked on S4HANA, but Fiori has never been used. So that would be very common things where basically functionality and features would not be used. Okay. So it's important that you know the key core functionalities, what has been delivered with S4HANA. First thing is the Hana. It's working on Hana database. Hana database is an in-memory database, okay, which work very fast, lightning speed, with the parallel calculation it does. With that functionality, a lot of things which you are not able to think about of doing in ECC, giving a complex calculation reports, joining multiple tables, and then giving a reports. Now we have a new functionalities. We have a CDS views are there, which can be used to deliver the complex reportings also into S4HANA. S4HANA would also be coming with the embedded analytics. So all these things, new things has been come up, which you need to understand. What are the things that has been come in HANA? It's in-memory database. You need to also understand the data footprint reduction. We will be covering that part in very depth into the trainings, but you need to understand that if you move from ECC to HANA database, your data footprint reduction happens. Your total data would reduce. How much? It can reduce by 50%. Okay, it can reduce by 50%. The 100 GB can become a 50 GB, only moving to HANA, or which we call suit on HANA. And if you move from suit on HANA to S4 HANA, it can again reduce to the 90%. Okay, so total reduction you can get from ECC to moving to S4 HANA, you can get up to 80 to 90% of the reduction. How this reduction will happen, what are the key concepts would be there, that are the which you need to focus and understand how the data model is changing. There are a lot of inventory tables has been removed, right? What would be the impact of that? Now we have a mad dog table. What is this mad dog table would be doing? People are a lot of confusion that between mad dog and mad dog extract. What is the difference between both? Where the mad dog would be used and where the mad dog extract would be used, right? So those kind of concepts you need to learn. Okay, so I'm just trying to open your eyes that what are the new things which you should be knowing it when you are moving towards SAP S4 HANA, right? In S4 HANA also, you need to know what are the different product journeys, whether your client need to move from ECC to suit on HANA and then suit on HANA to S4 HANA. What are the version changes? In each version, new functionality has been introduced. Recently, few weeks back, I have covered one session where I have focused on what are the 2021 changes in SAP SD module. I would be giving you a brief of that also quickly. Okay, let's proceed ahead. I'm a little bit under weather today. Sorry for that. Raj is asking that some businesses does not want to go with SAP Fiori. The reason I don't know. I have created a video on that particular part and it's available in YouTube. You can check our YouTube channel. Aman would be sharing a link for the YouTube channel. I have created one specific video for that, and where I have explained that why adoption is low for Fiori, why there is a low adoption for the Fiori, what is the reason, and why the adoption is low for Fiori. But that's a good point you have reminded me. So what I would be doing, Raj, that if you can also follow me over the LinkedIn. Aman would also be sharing a LinkedIn link here, and with that, I would be posting that video on the LinkedIn also again, the YouTube video, and why there's a low adoption. Then, okay, some people are raising hands, so I would be giving you unmute access only at the second part when we'll be going in discussion. So in meantime, you can go through the chat window. You can put your questions, queries, everything on the chat window. So you need to also make sure that when you're moving to S4 HANA, you also upgrade yourself with the migration. So HANA migration cockpit, what are the different migration options is there? Now HANA migration cockpit itself, when I started teaching in 2016-17, I was covering in 2 hours of session, I was covering HANA migration cockpit. Right now, there is so many changes in HANA Migration Cockpit. With each version, I need to conduct a specific special training. So when you will be getting our Excellence to SAP S4 HANA sales training, you would also get a free trainings in a bundle. You will get A to Z of Fiori. So Fiori itself is now the 12 to 13 hours of training I have created. Same way on the migration, I have created a specific training that also you will get as a bundle, in which we have covered that all the different things related to HANA Migration Cockpit you need to learn. So HANA Migration Cockpit is no more a topic of 2 hours. It required around a specific 10 to 11 hour of focus on the HANA Migration Cockpit. I have done a 32 hours of corporate training session also on HANA Migration Cockpit. So you can understand that the depth of the things are there in the different things now. So HANA Migration, what is HANA Migration Cockpit? A lot of people would not be knowing. So HANA Migration Cockpit would be a tool which would be replacing LSMW. Okay, LSMW would be replaced with HANA Migration Cockpit, but it would be, when it was launched in 2016, I said, what is this? Is delivered? LSMW is much, much better. Now in 2020, I can say, or 2021, I can say, okay, now it has something significant that I can say that, okay, a lot of functionality is better than LSMW. Both are available. Okay. Preferred approach is using HANA Migration Cockpit. Any of the scenarios which you are not able to do with HANA Migration Cockpit, because LSMW is there from 25 years, right? A lot of things has been done there. HANA Migration Cockpit is a 5-year-old baby. So you will be finding that with that tool, HANA Migration Cockpit, there are some scenarios which you will not be able to do it. So this HANA Migration Cockpit would be used to upload the master data, your master data, and open transaction when you will be doing SAP implementation. A lot of customers, a lot of materials need to be uploaded. So for that purpose, we'll be using HANA Migration Cockpit. So when we'll be going with the bundle of SAP S4 HANA Excellence Sales, you would also get a specific training on HANA Migration Cockpit cooked by me. Activate. I also did a 40 to 50 hours of training on SAP Activate itself. I'm promising for more than a year that I would be coming specific training around 25 to 30 hours of training on Activate. So far, I'm not able to put it together. The cooking is still pending for that. So Activate would be touching. Activate is very important. Okay. Some people think that Activate is only there. You should know if you are a project manager. So we'll be giving you overview of the Activate, and there's so many things which will be generating a value if you are joining a project as a junior consultant, and you know the Activate methodology, that what are the kickstarts, what are the out of the box documentations has been given by SAP, which can help you a lot into the implementation projects. A lot of people ask me, Parminder, we got training from Sastrageek solution, very good. We got a job also. I'm working in a consulting company, very good. But now what I need to do into the projects, what is going to happen? I have never done the SAP projects, right? So I always tell that our job is done when you are successfully working as a consultant in a company. Till that, our job is not done. So with this Activate, when you will be going through this content, you would be having all the resources in your hand. Whatever the next phases of the projects coming, you would be knowing. And as a consultant, what are the things you need to do also you would be knowing. Apart from that, we also have a SAP Job and Mastery, which is actually 60% of Activate. In SAP Job and Mastery, I have covered one example of end-to-end implementation with all of its phases, and in each phase, what a consultant need to do. A lot of people are getting job with SAP Job and Mastery. So Aman would be sharing link for that Job and Mastery also, which you can have a quick look on that. But the overview of the Activate, we will be providing it here. Data footprint reduction. And in our trainings, if you're doing it, you need to set up your system from scratch. A lot of people come that, I'm an experienced consultant, you want me to create a company code, master data, and then to start. I don't have that much of time. Boss, it don't require that much of time. We have a dedicated video when we give the server access. We also give the videos also how to set up your system. 1 to 1.5 hours, you can set up your system from scratch for SAP SD in S4 HANA by doing all the configurations, by creating your business partner master data, maximum 2 hours. And you'll have to spend it if you want to practice in our system. Okay, we don't allow you to jump into our system and to do changes here and there, will block your access. So we give you specific videos, you follow the path, set up your system, and do the configuration within your company codes. Do change the configurations within your plant. If you require something else, changes, come back to us and we will be helping you with the client level changes. Okay. Now I'm jumping into the real topic, which we came here for, the simplifications. Now I will be focusing more into the simplifications, right? So this would be the core content of our training, which we'll be focusing on. So in simplification, first thing you need to understand the master data. Master data has been simplified, the changes in the master data, right? What kind of changes will be there? So these are the big mind maps. You see the number 25, 24, 28 goes that many legs, which we'll be covering during the trainings. Just give me a minute. Sorry, guys. So you need to know about the material master simplifications. What other things has been changed in material masters? Answers on the chat window. If you know SAP S4HANA and you know that what other things has changed from the material master perspective in SAP S4HANA. Quickly on the chat window. 18 digits. Raj said that 18 digits, it become 40 digits. How about others? What do you think? What kind of things has been changed in master data in S4HANA? If you don't know, put DN, don't know. Not knowing a thing is a beautiful thing. You would be knowing. When you put DN, your all focus would be, okay, now I want to know. Okay. So only one we have here who know that what are the master data changes. Raj, that's good. You all came here to gather the knowledge. If you don't know, mention it. No problem with that. Don't forget to subscribe our channel and click on bell icon to update yourself with latest SAP videos. So in the material master, number length changes, right? Earlier it was 18, then it got changes to 40 character. Now that is a very simple explanation, that 18 to 40 character. The real game is you should understand which business should be adopting for that change. When I took the interviews and I asked, okay, what things has been changed 18 to 40? What thing I need to do? FLETS tick, I want to move to 40 characters, and then 40 characters are available. 90% of the people are able to answer it. But 90% of the people are not able to answer it, that why I should move to 40 characters. What is the need to go to 40 characters? Which kind of business would be going to 40 characters? Which kind of business scenarios would be there that we need to move to 40 characters? 90% of the consultants are not able to answer. 98% consultants are not able to answer that if I move from 80 to 14 characters, what is the impact on the business? What kind of the things business need to check? Because the configuration is very simple, just doing a tick, but it has a very, very big business impact. Business need to consider many things before moving that change. Otherwise, there are a lot of interfaces is going to break when you are having, because in when you'll be working on the projects, there would be having a complex landscapes. Your S4HANA system would be connected with so many different systems, right? S4HANA system would be connected with so many different systems. And then with connecting with so many different systems, if you say that I'm having a 40 character in S4HANA, and then you're interfacing with another ECC system or any third-party system, there it does not support the 40 character, your design will break. That's just one example. So you need to understand that 18 to 40 character, why, and what is the business impact before taking that tick and call what kind of things we need to consider it. We'll be talking in very much of detail when we jump into our training sessions, that what kind of things would be required. Batch management. There's a changes in batch management in S4HANA. I will be quickly giving a glance to you that earlier the activation of the batch management was there at the client level. Okay. Now a lot of 99% people are confused with that terminology. 99 client level. When I say client level, okay, we have 3 level: client level, material level, and plant level. So is that client level? That client level is different. When I say the activation here, you need to activate batch finally in your material master, right? Material master, there is a field you need to take, okay, batch management is activated, where you will be managing that materials in the groups in the batches, right? Now what we'll be having that, so when you mention that tick was there at the client level for the full material in full client, the batch got activated. Now you want to say that Okay, let me use my power pen tool just to explain. Now you want to say that, boss, I have a material A, and earlier we were doing a customization solution for this. I have plant X, Y, Z. I want to do here, my batch management should be active. Here, the batch management should not be active. Here, the batch management in this plant should not be active. Okay. So that kind of functionality is now there in S4HANA from 1909. You can say that, okay, I have a A as a batch management, but only for this plant. Whether it's a client level batch, whether it's a plant level batch, or whether it's a material level batch. Okay. Activation in the material master, you can do now at the plant level. Now for the batch, there are the two fields. One field is in the Mara table and one field in the mark table. Two fields are there. Okay. I will jump into very much detail that how to do. There's some configuration we need to do, how to activate it, what kind of configuration we need to do, how to maintain the master data, what kind of key things you need to take care of when you will be maintaining the master data, how it would be maintaining, what kind of default things can be maintained. Everything will cover in detail in the training. But now you should be getting a key concept at the plant level activation of the batch would be there. Yes, now at the plant level also the field would be available. Now the business partner was introduced in 2016, not 16, 2015, sorry. 15.11 version was used, started taken by the business in 2016. So always from mouth it comes 2016. So in 2016, when SAP was implemented, S4HANA came, business partner came. Okay. Now, business partner is a very deep concept. Earlier, when you do your OTC cycle, order to cash cycle, you was using in ECC, you was using customer and vendor. Okay. But in ECC also, there was a two option was there, customer, vendor, and the business partner. In S4HANA, there is only business partner you can create it. Now, this is a very depth topic I would be taking in very deep. So the excellence training would be done by myself and Rudra. Rudra is our core sales guy, having more than my experience in SAP SD module. Excellence part we both do together. Some part would be done by Rudra, some part I would be doing. So we'll be covering that, boss, why SAP come with the business partner, what kind of benefits are there for the business adopting to the business partner. Can anyone tell me that what kind of advantages is there for business to adopting, or let me ask simple question. Will be any advantage for a business moving to S4HANA, adopting to business partner? Just answer in yes or no. If you see that adopting to business partner would be advantage, put yes. If you see that adopting to a business partner would not be advantage, put no. Yes or no quickly on the chat window. Thank you everyone for responding. Yes. Prasad, not sure is the answer. I like it. If you're not sure, mention not sure. There's not a problem. In consulting also, when you'll be working with your client, if you don't know, you said not sure, let me get back on this. Okay. Most people say, yes, I'm working from last 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 20, almost 6 to 7 years I'm working on S4HANA now. Till that time, I'm not able to understand really what kind of real advantage is there in the business partner. Frankly speaking, 80 to 90% of the clients, 80% of the clients, immediately when they move to S4HANA, business partner would be creating a lot of trouble. It would be creating a lot of turbulence in your projects. Business would be, what the hell, I was comfortable with the simple customer, right? Why the business partner now? And it would be a big headache when you'll be doing a conversion. When you're doing, SD consultants are required a lot. Many SD consultants are required. That's why I ask people to go into deep of this topic and make sure you are highlighting this topic in your resumes, in your CV. Business partner should come at 2 to 3 place. Business partner, CVIs, how the conversion need to happen, what kind of things we need to do when we are moving from ECC to S4HANA as a conversion. So we can move as a greenfield implementation. We can also move as a conversion. So we will also be covering that what is greenfield, what is conversion. So for the conversion projects, there is a high demand of SAP SD consultant who know the deep knowledge of business partner, because there is a project where basically significant effort would be there to convert your customers into the business partner in ECC before you move to S4 HANA. So that their SD consultant, a lot of SD consultant would be required. So business partner, I feel that it's a trouble. It does not reduce a data foot. Many people say that data footprint will reduce. Business partner does not reduce any data footprint. It increase. It does not reduce any data footprint. There would be some advantages, but that advantage is not from the business perspective. There are a lot of advantages for SAP as a product. So SAP as a product earlier was having a multiple things, customer was there, business partner is there. Now in S4HANA, we only have a business partner, right? So the product has been simplified. With the simplified product, in the long term, the business would be having a benefit. But immediately moving to S4HANA with the conversion, there would be a lot of trouble. There would be a lot of turbulence. Now this turbulence is very good. Okay, this is very, very good, because that turbulence will create a lot of job requirement in the market for consultants. So trouble for business is a better thing for the consultants. It's a business trouble is a bread and butter for the consultants, right? So that trouble is good if you're working as a consultant. If you're working as a business user, you'll have to sustain with it. And in the longer term, you'll be getting the benefits. But one of the benefit which I was looking for last 3 to 4 years and putting into the SAP part that, okay, this is a requirement, this is a functionality we require, add it, came in 2021. If you are following this step-up circle for quite some year, you might have gone through the session. Let me give you a glimpse, the changes in 2021 for the business partner. So we'll be going in very deep of this topic. What is the business partner, how to do the configurations, how to maintain the CVIs, what we need to do the conversion, okay, and what kind of things we need to handle in the conversion. That all things will be handled in a very deep into the training. Let me give you a glimpse that what kind of new things, that with every version, the things has been changed. So now what we are doing it in our course content, when we move to the teachable, we move with the dynamic content. Our courses now is no more relevant for the version relevant. There's no version relevancy is there in our courses. We keep on improving with each version. We keep on adding the content. Okay, you have a 1 year access. You can subscribe it, keep on subscribing it to get all the content. But in that bucket is a version irrespective. So whatever the changes happen with each version, will be keeping adding videos in that content, and you need to subscribe it for another year if you want to keep on make sure that you have a knowledge and you keep on upskilling yourself with S4HANA changes. 2021 changes has already been put it up. If you subscribe this course for excellence, you will particularly see a video that 2021 changes for SAP S4HANA ST module is already there. Okay, so if you have recently subscribed our courses, you would be already having that video if you have subscribed to the excellence course. So let me give you a glimpse that what are the 2021 changes. I think it would be there in the same mind map. Yeah, 2021 changes. That is what has been covered. This is my favorite topic, business partner multiple address. I think a lot of people would be there in this session also, who was taken training from me 2 years, 3 years ago. Okay, and that is the topic we were discussing, that multiple addresses can be maintained in the business partner. In customer, you can only have one address, right? If you need another address, you need to create another customer. From 2016 itself, the business partner has a functionality that one business partner can have a multiple address. Okay, one address, two address, three address. My ship to party can be different address, bill to party different address. Some kind of cases you create ship to parties, bill to parties only for the address purposes. Only for the address purposes you created, right? But in business partner, I have a functionality. I can, for one business partner, can have a 20 different addresses, right? So in this one, it has been shown that the different addresses can be maintained, right? But the question comes, how in order to cache, these addresses can be utilized? How these addresses can be utilized in order to cache? That is the question, right? That was still not answered till 2020. We were keep on following. I started seeing in 2018, SAP has mentioned that in the next versions, they would be answering it. And 2021, they have answered it. So in 2021, multiple addresses can be maintained in the business partner. That was there in 2016. The changes has been come. If you will activate these business modules, business functions, you would be able to use these multiple addresses while creating a sales order. The pop-ups will come where you will be able to select the addresses from the business partner. Okay, from the multiple business addresses, you will be able to select, okay, this is the address I want to select it. That functionality has came in 2021. Now, this is the benefits now starting coming up from the business partner. 2016, 17, 18, it was a complete headache for the businesses to handle the business partner. But now you will see the benefits coming out from the business partners. Okay, Gopala has highlighted one more integration for the DQM for data quality management. Integration has been activated. That's true. That's very true. Thank you for highlighting that. Okay, we move back. Okay, I'm back. So that where basically a business partner become a big topic the way it is going on. I think in next 2 to 3 years, I need to come up with the specific course only on business partner. That much of key configurations, details are available in business partner if you want to jump into details. Okay, so this is the high level master data changes. Now there are a lot of changes in the MRP side also. So MRP side changes will not be covering. We don't cover in SD as we have 3 excellence training, SD, MM, PP, FICO is also there. Right now the batch is not happening, will be starting in future. And then EWM, TM are separate trainings. So the PP related changes, the MRP related changes, we cover some part into the MM, which is related to the material market, materials management, the sourcing logic part. And some parts we handle it into the PP training, the MRP live, DDMRP, that has been focused into the PP. So here we'll be focusing in SD excellence training, we'll be only focusing on the SD related master data changes. But apart from that, there would be a lot of changes would be there. It would not be possible to cover. Our target is to give you a training in 40 hours. So whatever the things we can cover in a 40-hour content. Now, right now also it will be overflowing from the 40 hours. But in that content, absorbable content we need to give. So we'll be focusing only the SD part. If you want to know the MRP related changes, then the right part for you is the PP excellence training, MRP live, DDMRP, predictive MRP, everything would be covered there. Okay. Fiori is very important. Okay, Fiori is very, very important. You will not see the difference in ECC and S4HANA if you don't adopt to Fiori. Fiori is magical. Fiori is truly magical. Let me also give you a glimpse of some system here, that what kind of things can be done with Fiori. Okay, just give me a minute. Don't forget to subscribe our channel and click on bell icon to update yourself with latest SAP videos. So I'm logging into Fiori. So the mastery course, when we do, okay, mastery course is the course where we go into the depth of the master data configuration. So we focus to cover all the basic part which you require to become a SAP SD consultant. So would be handled, although some touch base would be there for Fiori in one of the session, but would be handled mostly on the GUI front. Okay. And this training, excellence training, would be completely on the Fiori. Okay. Everything would be covered in Fiori. The sales end-to-end cycles and everything would be covered in Fiori, so that, and there would be also, if you're going through with this training, you would also get one additional training cooked by me, that is A to Z of Fiori for functional consultant. That's around 10 to 15 hours of training only on the Fiori concept, which is required for functional consultant. Raj is asking is if some modules has a Fiori mandatory. Fiori is not mandatory for any module, but there would be some functionalities if you're using Fiori is mandatory. Now, a lot of new functionality will talk about the AATP, will talk about the sales order approval process, will talk about the setting up the flexible Fiori workflow for the sales orders. So those functionality, when you're using, the Fiori will become mandatory. Fiori is completely mandatory if you are using SAP S/4HANA public cloud version. Public cloud version, it's completely mandatory that you need to use Fiori. Without Fiori, you will not be able to proceed. But now the way the functionality is coming, that every new functionality which has been introduced is coming Fiori. Now down the line 4 to 5 years, earlier people was not adopting, people were saying that they are why Fiori. Now down the line 3-4 years, people would be saying why GUI. Okay, why cannot I do everything in Fiori? It will change. Yes, Gopal has a very good point that the consultant cannot run from the Fiori, but still they can run Gopala, because now the AATP also, it has so many loaded functionality, but not has been adopted by all of the clients. So AATP clients still using the basic functionalities. They are still using the normal AATP without using AATP. So for those clients, even 70% of the clients I have seen, which the last implementation I have seen, they have not adopted to AATP as of now. They have in the future mind path, but not now. Okay, I'm into the Fiori. If you are able to see my screen, are you able to see the Fiori screen in my screen sharing? If you can see, put yes on the chat window quickly. Thank you very much for responding. Okay, so what I'm showing you quickly from the search functionality, and then you would be able to think that, boss, this is what we require. This is what we were waiting for, right? So let me search for a material here, TG11, just a material. I'm doing a search. Okay, I'm a new to Fiori. I'm coming here. I'm searching a material TG11. And let's see what happens with that material search. So that kind of, can you search this material in ECC? In GUI, can you open a GUI and just start from the material search itself without putting any transaction code, without doing anything, without going into the complex menu structure? Can you do that thing? Yes or no into the chat window. Can we do this kind of search? Even you would be able to do a search here. TG11 is a product code. I'm a director. I don't know TG11. I know that my product is juice 50 ml. And he would be able to put that juice 50 ml here, and he would be able to try to search what kind of production orders, what kind of sales order, what kind of deliveries I'm having. Even they would be able to put the plant code, plant description, even the dates can be put it. You can put the tomorrow's date to check whatever the transactions I need to do for the tomorrow dates, everything will come up here. Okay. No, it is not possible. In ECC, it is not possible. Okay, it does not show me the result. Let me search again. Let me refresh it. So now with Fiori, what you need to make sure that even you're using our systems also, you need to be a little bit patient, especially you are using this Fiori first time. So in 2021 version, I have logged into the new launchpad, and this we are using it first time for Fiori. So when you use Fiori first time, it develops some cache because it's working on the browser. It's not with the Fiori. All the browser products, complex browser product, would take some time when you would be working on them, because it develops some caching. Okay, so even into your productive system, even you're having a big productive system, at that place also, system will take a little bit of time because it would be building a cache. Okay, the screen has been loaded. I would be quickly coming back. Just give me a minute. I would be quickly coming back. Sorry guys, I'm back. You see the power now? Let me switch off my video so that, okay, let me minimize my video so that you will be able to see the power here. So on the left-hand side, you have the billing documents, you have the customer materials, purchasing orders, all the things are appearing it here. You can see it clearly, right? So I have just searched on the materials. So with this material, what is going to happen? Left-hand side, the things you see, it's basically a combination of 100 of reports running in ECC. So that kind of capabilities in ECC would never be possible. Okay, that kind of capabilities in ECC would never be possible. So let's say if you want to see the sales orders. So now it is showing you the sales order. You can see on the right hand side, the sales order has been displayed. Now a user knowing nothing coming into the screen, and then they would be able to go to a sales orders, and then they said, well, these are the 1,000 of sales order. I just want to focus on some specific sales order. I just want to focus on open orders. He can click it here and he would be seeing the open orders. I want to just focus on not delivered or created by something. Even the filters are also available. Okay, so that's completely magical, right? So let me search both open and completed. So here even now users see that, okay, this is the sales order and what I need to do with sales order. What kind of things I can do it here? I can go display the sales order. I can go into the sales order actuals, incoming sales order. I can go ahead and he can click it here and he can say that, okay, boss, let's click on one of the things here. He said that, okay, display me the process flow. Let's check the process flow. What kind of activities happened in this sales order? I want to see it. Now, these kind of things we need to train to the business user even multiple times. When they have been trained, they forgot and they keep on asking, Parminder, I have a sales order, where I can go, where I can click, and I can see the process flow for the sales order. So you can see in a decent way, it would be showing that whatever things has been done, quotation has been done or not, sales order, delivery, different billing documents has been done, you would be able to see the flow. Even there is more flows are available by which you would also be able to show, let me check it, track sales order. You would also be able to check the finance flows together. Display document flow. So this display document flow would show you all the flow together with cancellation of the documents. What other things has been happened would be clearly shown to you. Now, these kind of graphics was not at all available when we were working with the ECC system, right? So sales order, outbound delivery, from outbound delivery, there is a goods issue, there is another goods issue, then there is this invoice is posted, then there is an invoice cancellation for this, then again there is another invoice got posted, and you would be able to click on and you would be able to go into the details. Even the financial documents are also available. These are the general entries which has been made. These are the GL accounts which got hit with this one. Now, this was very complicated, right? You go into the sales order in GUI, you go into the document flow, and then you go from one of the document flow, material document posting, you go into it. Then you go and see the financial postings, right? Here in front of you, everything has been displayed. And some user would be saying, boss, the financial user, I want to see into the T forms, left side credit, right side debit. That kind of things I want to see, and you can click on the display T accounts. .360° also great. Let me also show you 360° also. Right. So you can see here, the left hand side is the credit entry and right hand side is the debit entry. The finance consultant would be able to make more sense out of it. When you show these kind of business functionality, business just fell into a love with this tool. Okay, especially when they're working in ECC. But the problem, I become very sad is that when I show to the business, even into the middle of the projects, when I go as an advisor or for reviewing the project, business say that none of the consultants show these screens that this is available. We ended up developing few reports, which I think we would not be even developing it if we know that these kind of functionalities are available, right? So the most problem is that the business is facing issues because consultants are not getting upskilled. Okay, so make sure that you upskill yourself. It's very much required. Once you understand all the students who has gone through the mastery course of SD, now they jump into the excellence so that they can also know all these advanced function and features. Our excellence course for SD is starting, I think, on from 10th of June. Bhupinder would be mentioning the exact date when we are starting the excellence course. It will be on the 10th of June. Let me show you some more good functionalities from here. Okay, so let's go into the. So user no need not to train. He can see the change sales order, create sales order. He can jump into it. Okay, he can always jump into it. Track sales orders are there, and then manage sales orders. A lot of functions are available here. Okay, let me jump into the sales order, and then I would be showing you the customer 360 degree also. Customer 360 degree would be giving you the complete view of customer. So earlier in ECC, we are used to, boss, I'm seeing the master data. The customer shows me only the master data. For that customer, I want to see the transaction data. Go to another transaction for invoices, go to another transaction for sales order, go to another transactions to have more information, credit notes, debit notes, multiple different transactions I need to go. Now here, if you click it here, let's say this is the sales order, it gives you the complete information. But if I click on the customer here, if I click on the customer here, and from this customer, I would be having here the more links. I can go to the multiple places here, and you see here, I'm not, what are the keyboard entries I have entered here when I'm going here? Only TG11. That 4 character has typed here, no another transaction code, no materials, nothing else. Rest all is click, scroll, click, scroll, click, scroll. So that is the advanced GUI. That is the advanced interface, right? We are basically, rather than typing and entering it, if you're using in mobile and tablet, what do you need? Some scroll up, scroll down, click, scroll up, scroll down, click, rather than the typing the information. So that has been adopted. Fiori has been adopted for that. Here the customer 360 degrees. So these all our applications are inbuilt, right? But you need to make sure you get them activated. The roles assignments need to be done. A lot of things need to be done. That has been explained in the detail of A to Z of Fiori, A to Z of Fiori for functional consultant, a course cooked by me. So in that, I jump into the detail of the Fiori only from the functional perspective point. Okay, no coding has been discussed in that course. Aman would be sharing a link for A to Z of Fiori course also. But if you're taking the excellence bundle, it would be part of the excellence bundle, that A to Z Fiori. Fiori architecture, code deploy, hub deploy, how the roles need to be managed, how the applications need to be activated, how the debuggings need to be happen for the application if you find a problem, what kind of things need to be done by a basis consultant, what kind of things need to be done by a functional consultant, how we can change the layouts, what kind of functionalities it is having. Can I put a picture of mine here? Can I change the colors? So all this functionality which a functional consultant should know has been covered in that course and would be part of the excellence bundle. So this is the customer 360 degree, a beautiful one. Okay, so you would be able to see that what customer, what sales area it has, whether any open quotations are there. So whether any sales orders are available. So these are the sales orders which are available. These are the contracts which is available. It also shows that this contract has been expired. We need action. Any customer returns are there. Any credit memos are there. These are the credit memos. Debit memos are there. Billing documents. What are the completed, cancelled billing documents? any fulfillment issues there. So that is the part which will be, so you can see for this customer, there are so many fulfillment issues are there. So that we'll be covering into the one specific session we'll be having, where we'll show you end-to-end order to cash cycle, and it is known as the smart business application for order fulfillment, where basically you would be having an application which would be showing you that I want to deliver this order today or tomorrow, and for that order I am having an issue that in the sales order the data is incompleted, okay, or the delivery has not been created, okay, or if there is any another issues are there in delivery goods issue, it would be showing you that if I want to fulfill it from sales order till billing in different areas, what kind of different issues I have which I need to focus on. Beautiful application, right? This is what business require, and this is what earlier in 2016-17 we were delivering it to multiple business by developing a application on the third party tools. We were giving that insight to the business. Okay, there is so many noises there, but what exactly thing you need to focus on, that is really required. Predictive analytics is also there, but for the predictive analytics, you need to make sure that the data is there in the system, and then you can, if you can activate the predictive analytics. It started coming up in last couple of years. It started with finance, but for sales order also, sales part also, we have some predictive analytics. But I would be just showing you maybe in later part when we go into the this thing, that how to activate that, the predictive analytics. But it would, in some cases, it would be required some additional services from SAP Cloud, which need to be integrated, and it has a significant data into it, so that the machine learning can happen and predictive learning can be done from there. Okay, so that's a quick glimpse of the what can be done with Fiori. Okay, everything will happen in this course on Fiori, and you will see the amazing features. A lot of people try to jump directly into it. Okay, if you are new to SAP, okay, if you're looking for a first SAP job, right, or if you're new to SAP, if you're working as an end user, first you need to do a mastery course with us, and then you need to jump into excellence. Or if you want to cross train yourself, okay, you are already on PP, and you want to also become an SD or another module expert, you need to do 2 trainings. First, mastery, we'll be talking about all the core processes, and then in excellence we'll be talking about the advanced function and features. Okay, we divided into the 2 courses because one course would be very lengthy and it become very expensive to afford from the people. That's why we divided into the 2 courses. And the 2 courses also, there would be multiple courses, separate course for A to Z Fiori, separate course for your HANA migration cockpit, and after 2 years I would be separating out AATP also, because AATP become a bigger animal, so I would be having a separate course on AATP. Okay, so this is a quick view, and let's jump into detail. Okay. So is Fiori make sense? Okay, if it makes sense, if you see that, okay, this functionality which I have shown you in the Fiori, if it makes sense, MS on the chat window. Quickly, everyone, MS makes sense. MS on the chat window. If you feel the functionality which we have just seen would be making a lot of sense for the business. Everyone, MS on the chat window. Thank you, Ruta. Thank you, Samardhan. Thank you, Gopala. Thank you, Balvinder, for responding. Thank you, Naren. Thank you, Bob, Vikas, Keshav. Thank you, everyone, for responding. Thank you, Ishu. Okay, so let's move ahead. So I have also talked about the smart order fulfillment. Now, some key changes which you will see in SD. Let me also have a quick. Don't forget to subscribe our channel and click on bell icon to update yourself with latest SAP videos. Time check. Just give me a minute. Okay, we have time. Is billing number changes. Okay. Now the billing number, you remember that what is billing number? You create sales order, delivery, goods issue, then the billing document would be creating. Generally, you see the billing document is the numeric number, right? 1 to 3 or starting from 9001, 9002. Now, earlier we were having this business requirement, okay, and this is the one thing which you can highlight in the interviews, is a few people only know it. We were having a requirements, you know, that business was saying that, okay, if I'm having this billing document, I implement it for India rollout, what I need IND hyphen, and then number should start. Okay, there should be some prefix need to be added. If it's happening from US, it should be US hyphen 9000. So that kind of requirement come from business, and there is specific reason for this requirement. One thing is that the company internal policy, they want to have different numbers. In some countries, there would be some legal requirements also, statutory requirements, where basically you need to have some prefixes defined into the billing documents. In some cases, you have an integration with the customer system, and customer wants you a specific number to follow when you're generating a billing document. So integration with the third party system. So because of that business scenario, this functionality comes into a picture where business would be requiring that they need a different billing documents, and there should be a prefix added to it. So earlier also we were having requirements. Earlier also we were doing it. Earlier we were doing it by doing a manual coding it by enhancements. Now we would be able to do it by implementing bodies, and we will be able to implement that body from the custom field and logic application from the Fiori. Will be guiding you how to do it. And there is also code in the body, but the code is written into a plain English, which you would be able to quickly change it. Okay, and then you would be able to have a kind of a decision table by which you would be able to identify it, that if this is a plant or this is a sales organization, this prefix need to be added into the billing document number. Okay, so we'll be covering that in detail, but just to show you that what kind of decision table would be built. So this is an example of a decision table. Operation criteria and sales organization and billing document type. So based on these combinations, what number interval it need to use, and what is the extension it need to add, what is the prefix it need to add. So that kind of functionality has been added in the previous version. And we will see this kind of functionality when SAP introduced in 1. They have introduced it here. I have a strong feel that they would be getting it into the other modules also. This other number ranges also, this functionality would be coming in future. The same way, you know that now flexible Fiori workflows. We all know the flexible Fiori workflows from procurement standpoint, that the purchase order approvals has been managed from the flexible Fiori workflows. Now in 2019 and 2020, 2019 it is introduced, 2020 it has been improved. You would also be having an approval process for the sales orders. Okay, that is the requirement many times we have from the business. Here purchase order is the approval process is there. Why don't we have a sales order approval process? Okay, now the sales order approval process would also be required. But let me ask you, purchase order approval is quite common, right? That your money is going out, right? So you need to control. Sales order will bring in the money. So do you think that the sales order approval is required? There can be some business requirement where the business should go ahead with the sales order approval. What do you think? Yes or no in the chat window? Yes, sales order approvals would be required. No, you don't think that the sales order approvals are required. It should be without approval created. Credit memo makes scenario the sense. Ruta said yes. Some people did not know, no problem. And some people said, yes, it can make sense. So it would not make sense in all of the sales order process, right? In specific process, it would make sense. Your regular customers, it does not make sense. You keep on supplying it and then they'll keep on delivering. It does not make sense. But if there is a big sales order, okay, its value is really huge. So what happened, although we said that it will bring in money, but before bringing in money, you need to also send your materials. You need to also send your services to them, right? So that if there's a new customer come up and then it is asking for an order which is big, so you don't have that trust developed with that customer. Okay, that credits is not there, right? So you are not feeling confident that, okay, whether this customer would be able to fulfill that, would be able to pay back to me or not. So for that purpose, okay, you want to create a sales order, but you want to notify your managers, okay, and the directors, okay, this particular customer is there and it is having a big order which we have got it. So before you proceed ahead, you get the approvals so that your managers and directors know it's a
new customer, or they can also have a word with customer to understand what kind of customer it is, and whether we will not be having any credit issues, although we will be sending materials to them. We will not be having issue to get the money back from them, right? So for those kind of cases, it is required. The approval process would be required. In engineer to order processes, where basically every customer would be having a specific process, complete process would be there. It would be first engineers and then delivered to him. That kind of orders would be really big in nature. In construction industry, when we have deal, the orders are into the millions. One sales order will be in millions, which need to be completed in 2 to 3 years, right? That kind of sales order also need to go for the approval process, review process, whether everything has been put it correctly, milestone has been put it correctly, the whether we have mentioned it that we would be able to getting advance from the customers, that condition has been maintained correctly. It has need to be go for a quick scrutiny, right? So for that process, the approval would be required. All right. So make sure when you join our trainings, what we focus more on to the business processes also. To me, the business process is more important than the configurations, right? People know, okay, this configuration need to be done, this master data you can set it up, but for which business scenario this configuration need to be adapted, what kind of business scenarios can be there where the functionalities can be used, right? That is the thing which is lacking in the consultants, which we focus a lot. When you're doing a training, not only you know that, okay, what is the process steps, but you also know the business scenario where it will get implemented. So you need to hold on, Vikas, for the QA session. If you feel that this is generating a value, you can hold on for the QA session. Or if you have another questions, you can also drop to the email. I will take another almost 20 minutes more to complete this and then jump into the QA session. So that is the flexible. I will a little bit make it faster. That is a flexible and sales analytics with Fiori. Now I have seen that a lot of application has been developed. A lot of applications, a lot of custom code, custom reports has been developed, even without knowing that there are some things, especially for the core users requirement. So you would be feeling in the projects what happened that the requirements come to you from the core users, and then if you can filter it, that what is the end user requirements, which end user would be using it, especially from the reporting and analytics point of view, and what is the core users requirement. A lot of things which core user would be requiring it, because they need to act as a level 1 support, they need to monitor the processes, right? So there would be core user requirement, there would be end user requirement. And with embedded analytics, the both end users are also there and the core users are also there. For core users like the query browsers and the other things, I feel that it is not in the position that it can be used by end user. But out of 10 reports, if you will be seeing, which has been developed, customized, developed, you will be seeing that 6 or 7 has been used by only by the core users, not by the end users. End user focus more on the different things, core user focus more on the different things. If you are developing a report for a core user, a custom report, you should go to the embedded analytics. There are the thousands of reports which you can be delivered without custom writing a custom code, by using embedded analytics, by using query browsers. Okay, we'll be jumping into the detail and we'll be seeing how query browsers can be used to deliver the. Okay, let's proceed ahead. If you face any difficulty in hearing me clear, loud and clear, please let me know over the chat window. So I was explaining about the analytics, that how the analytics are available. I have taken more time, otherwise I would be jumping into a query browser and I would be shown that how the analytics has been delivered. We'll be showing the sales related part into the excellence training, and in bundle you'll be getting A to Z Fiori. In that, embedded analytics would be covered in very detail, even that much of details, that how you can develop a new application by using a TCDS views, or not develop, configure, because no coding is required, how you would be able to set up the KPIs if it is required. Now, a lot of things which would be there in A to Z of Fiori, you would not be doing it. There would be a Fiori analytical consultant, he would be doing. But as a functional consultant, at least you should know, boss, these kind of things are available. The major problem is not like that the consultant does not know how to do it. The major problem is consultant even don't know that these function features are available. This beautiful function features of embedded analytics, query browsers, KPI settings, and you can modify it quickly without coding. These kind of things available, consultant does not know. So when they don't know, they don't discuss with the business. When they don't discuss with the business ended up not using the functionality, right? So a lot of things you should know, and in A to Z of Fiori, even you would be able to know how quickly you do it, so that when you're giving a requirement, they cannot fool you that it will take 1 week or it will take 2 weeks. Something is really within a day, you can do it with very minimal efforts. That quick the Fiori is there, and that quick the uh, embedded analytics with Fiori would be. Inventory management is simplifying a lot. Transferring your stocks apart from the data model simplification in the inventory, the Fiori screens transferring stock from one location to another location. Okay, earlier you want to check the stocks, then you go into the Migo, and then you put the entries. There are a lot of things you type, then you check it, then you post it. Now checking a stock, okay, I need to move from this location to this location, or I may need to move from this plant to this plant. Select it here, pop-up window, enter the quantity, press enter. As simple as that, you would be able to transfer the stocks. Amazing, right? Output management. Now, output management would be having two things here. You would be having a new output management, which we also call BRF plus output management. And we also have a classic output management. I'm still in the love with the classic output management, because BRF plus output management is cannot be used if the customer is using ECC and they're moving to S4HANA. So with ECC to S4HANA, this output management, the purpose of output management is generate the output documents, right? Your printable documents, sending the emails, that is known as the, the core output. But the functionality is so deep. The functionality which we use in the classic output management, the condition techniques, is so deep that apart from that generating outputs, it has been also used to do a lot of automations. With output types, you would be seeing a lot of custom solutions has been given, a lot of automations has been done, right? Although it's not now no more output management. You are getting a sales order, and with one of the transaction, you are getting an automatic delivery created, or with the delivery you are getting some automatic PGIs or another documents created. A lot of things we do, right? With STO, with automatic delivery creations, that a lot of things we do with the output types. So that is actually not output management, but we are using the functionality of output management. A lot of places, this new output management, this iDocs integrations and this automations, it will not be able to support you. It will able to support you to generate in a simplified way, where a PDF outputs need to be generated, printouts need to be generated, or emails need to be triggered. That place, it will simplify your solution. But if you need that, you need some functionality like condition techniques, where you will be able to do a lot of things, then it would be a problem. Okay, so in most of the clients so far, we will be explaining you the BRF plus, we'll be explaining you the advantages. I would also be explaining you the disadvantages, the things which is not possible with BRF plus, right? When I say I would be, it would be we, because Rudra also would be there. So some sessions from Rudra, some sessions from me. FSCM credit management. Now the credit management has been moved from the normal credit management. It would be moved to the FSCM credit management. Okay, it is mandatory that we would be using FSCM credit management. It's advanced level of credit management.
Don't forget to subscribe our channel and click on bell icon to update yourself with latest SAP videos.
Okay, do we need a special license to use FSCM credit management? Answers on yes or no, bringing back your focus. Do we need a separate license or special license to use FSCM credit management? Answers in yes or no. Raj says no, Gopala says no. Naren says yes. What is FSCM? FSCM is Financial Supply Chain Management, advanced module of finance. So actually this is now moving to the credit management. From the sales bucket is moving to the finance bucket. Venkat said yes, we need. The answer is yes and no, both is the answer. So what happened that we will see that when advanced feature has been introduced, this is same with EWM, this is same with TM, and this is same with the FSCM also. Now, the clients were using a SD credit management, which does not require a license. But if you want to use FSCM credit management, inherently it required a license, right? You need to have a license to use FSCM credit management. But what SAP has provided that if you just want to use the sales related functionality, the basic functionality of FSCM, where you will be managing the credits at the business partner levels, and the advanced credit management functionality where it can integrate with the different systems, and from there it can bring the credit scores, and based on the credit scores you would be able to dynamically calculate your credit limits. That are the advanced functionalities. If you don't want to use the advanced functionality, if you want to use the basic credit management, which you are using in SD, the same thing if you want to use in S4HANA, license is not required. But if you want to use advanced feature of FSCM credit management, then license would be required. So that is a little bit of gray area. Yes or no, both are the right answers. Gopala said very correctly. Okay, let's proceed ahead. Now, the next is the rebate management. Now, the rebate functionality is also has been switched off. Rebate is not available. Instead of rebate, we'll be having a settlement management, which will be available. Okay, instead of rebate, we'll be having a settlement management, which would be available. So we'll be going into the deep of settlement management, what this animal is settlement management and what it would be doing. It's a very deep topic. And even I can call settlement management as a sub-module. So we'll be covering it one of the sessions, settlement management, so that you know what is settlement management and you would be able to work basics on the settlement management. But settlement management is also used more. You will be getting expert in settlement management, the finance consultant who has worked into the industry which deals into the financial services. So the industries which has dealt into the financial services, you will get an expert of using settlement management. So settlement management can do many things. It can do many things, and it has been used intensively into the financial services segment. But now, if you want to use the rebate functionality, you need to use settlement management. So we'll be covering that, how you need to set up the settlement management and how your rebate would be happening with the settlement management. We'll be doing that. I have a question from Raj and Gopala, that whether the settlement management is going to replace Vistex. I don't see that. Vistex has its own place, especially into the US region. The kind of things Vistex has been done, I don't see it would be in near future quickly replaced with the settlement management. If the settlement management become more adaptive and more changes has been brought up in future, we cannot say. But right now, I don't see that the kind of functionalities you get in Vistex in a simple way of working. I don't see that the settlement management in near future would be able to replace Vistex. Vistex would be still be there. Earlier it was integrated with ECC. Now Vistex has been upgraded to S4HANA. Now it would be able to integrate with S4HANA. Now there would be a big animal which you need to learn. It's AATP. Okay, let me ask you that who does the AATP? AATP does by the which consultants? Is it the SD consultant? Is the PP consultant, or is the planning consultant? Who does the AATP? Which consultant would be doing AATP? SD consultant, PP consultant, or the planning consultant? All three. When all three does, nothing happens. In a project, if you select an object and you say that, okay, you also do, you also do, you also do, you'll be ended up saying nothing happens. What is AATP? That's a good question. So AATP is advance available to promise. So what happens that when you create a sales order, sorry, I forgot that there are the multiple module people here. So some people even would not be knowing. So don't hesitate to ask the simple questions to me. Okay. No question is a simple question. No question is a stupid question. So what is ATP? AATP is the advanced version of AATP. What is AATP? It's available to promise. What happens that your customers gives you a sales order, right? So you as a company, you receive this sales order. Now customer wants that I need a quantity 100, and I need it on a date 15th of June. Now, this is the sales order from the customer. Now, as a company, what is your commitment? Whether you would be able to give that quantity on that date, what is your promise? Are you able to give that promise that I would be able to give in that quantity and that date? That happens with the available to promise. Okay, so system in available to promise is a small engine like MRP engine. It's also kind of a planning engine. As soon as you will create a sales order, that engine will run, and that engine will check that how much stock I am having on hand, how much different customers I have. So based on the different customers I have, based on the stocks I am having, it would be promising that whether I can deliver this quantity or not, or it can say that boss, 70 I will give you by 15th of June, and 30, please, you need to wait by 30th of June. This is the two promise I give, which will be coming as a schedule line. So it would be checking your existing stocks. It would be checking your existing supplies, which is coming. It would also be checking the existing customers you are having. And then it would be telling you whether you would be able to promise it or not. So that checking process and then creating a schedule line confirm. So that is the available to promise I have explained. Now, earlier we were having a basic available to promise, and now we'll be having a advanced available to promise. Now, advanced available to promise will be having a lot of new functionality and features. As I told you, this topic is in that depth that I can cover. I can take 40 hours only on available to promise. That much of detail has been added. So in not now, but in a 1 to 2 years, I would be putting a separate course for AATP only. Now, which consultants need to do it? People said that the both consultants would be doing MMPP. SD owns it, but will be discussed with MM and PP. So when it comes, you know that one topic GATP, Global Available to Promise, who was doing it? Is it done by SD consultant or a PP consultant? Who does GATP, Global Available to Promise, which sits in APO? Who does that? SD. I have not seen any SD consultant doing GATP. That's completely new. PP, no, I have not seen that PP consultant. APO consultant does it. There's a specific APO consultants who does it. We call it specific planning consultants. So neither they are fully PP. So PP and SD consultant upskill themselves to become an APO consultant. Okay, but there would be a specific APO consultant within APO also. There would be a specific consultant who would be working on GATP. There would be a specific consultant who would be working on PPDS. There would be specific consultant who would be working on demand planning, right? So the planning consultant works on it. Okay, the planning consultant works on it. Now, ATP, when it was a basic functionality, is done by SD consultant. SD also has its own ATP. PP also has its own ATP for the components check in production order. PP does ATP. SD does its own ATP. When it comes to AATP, that's where the confusion start building it up. Who would be the function consultant who would be delivering AATP? Right now, if you ask me in S4HANA projects who would be doing AATP, it would be done. It would be done by the SD consultant. But later on, there would be some segment of consultants would be developing who would be a specialized SD consultant for AATP only. Because if you're implementing AATP in a company and you're using detail in-depth functionality, you need a separate consultant only to handle AATP. Okay, a separate consultant only to handle AATP, advanced available to promise. So right now it would be handled by the SD consultant because the features in 2016 to 20 it was small. Now it's exploding. It's bringing all the feature. It's bringing all the features of GATP into S4 HANA. So two kind of consultants would be handling. Either the SD consultant would upskill themselves to AATP. They will become an AATP consultant and they would be handling. And second part, the APO consultant who was expert in GATP, they will be brought into and handle the S4 HANA AATP because a lot of concepts, business knowledge would be same. So APO GATP consultant would be handling AATP or SD upskilled consultant would be handling AATP. Okay, that there can be some gray area. As of now, PP related functionality is less. AATP still PP related functionality need to come. It focus onto the sales side only. That's why only the sales consultant would be handling. Keshav asked that how AATP is different from IBP. IBP you can compare with APO, right? APO was having so many different functions: demand planning, SNP, so supply network planning, your PPDS, and GATP. So GATP come into S4 HANA as a AATP, and PPDS come into also embedded PPDS in S4 HANA. The another two modules and some more things has been added from the demand planning, supply network planning has been added into the IBP. So IBP is covering 60 to 70 functionality of APO. Yes, there are changes to product allocation. So let me quickly highlight you what kind of things you will be. Each topic, if I'll speak, it will take more than 2 hours, each of this topic. Back order processing is one of the part which now I would not explain because we have overshoot the time, but back order processing you will see amazingly improved. That is a core ATP is basically the back order processing in sales order. You create a sales order. At the creation of the sales order get confirmed. Some sales order are not confirmed, but you still want to deliver it to the customer. So you do the back order process. So the back order processing is going to improve. Then your advanced product allocations is going to drastically improve. Product allocation was now each functionality I would be talking into the excellence training in detail. Product allocation is one of the functionality which was not used because it was very complicated to set up in ECC. It was very complicated. It has been simplified like anything in S4 HANA. Alternate based confirmation would be coming where between the two plants, you would be able to select that whether plant A need to deliver or plant B need to deliver. Okay. Right now we say that, okay, plant A would be delivering, but if I have stock from the plant B, why not the plant B should deliver? The automation replacing of plant A to plant B would be coming in alternative based confirmation. Release for delivery is the application where when all this availability check happens and you want to manually control it, that okay, manually I want to create the deliveries and you want to change, overrule the product allocations guidelines, you would be able to use release for delivery. Supply protection and substitution are the two new things we will try to add in this training. In the last trainings which we have done was not added. The SAPs keep on adding the things and we also keep on adding the functionalities and features, right? So supply production would be added and the substitution would be added in this training. Supply production is what is supply production? When an order came, right? So let me give you a simple example for the supply production. So you are having, let's say you are having two distribution channels, right? One is your so this is your wholesale business and this is your e-commerce. Wholesale business and e-commerce business. Now wholesale business orders comes quite in advance. And e-commerce business, you will be getting it, you know, on the daily basis or just 1 week advance. But the percentage margins, the profit margins are greater here. Okay. You don't want to end it up that you are having a limited stock. You don't want to end it up that everything you have given to the wholesale and then e-commerce, you're not delivering at all. Then your e-commerce business would be completely stopped. So you want to reserve some stock here that, okay, that much protection I'm giving for e-commerce. This is only for e-commerce. I would be supplying for e-commerce. Okay. That is called supply protection. That functionality also has been added. Substitution also has been added. If like say a customer want material A in the sales order, you don't have a stocks for it A, but there is a similar material B, which you can deliver it. Okay. For some different reasons, you have created a two codes, but actually you want replaced with material A with material B. Material A stock is not there. You want to get it replaced with material B. That also you would be able to do it with substitution. Earlier in the last version, they added the material substitution and now they have gone ahead. The location and the plant substitutions has also been added. Storage location substitution can also be handled. where the story location can be substituted. So this would be the functionalities which would be available.
Don't forget to subscribe our channel and click on bell icon to update yourself with latest SAP videos.
Okay, so now if you want to, we are starting from 10th of June. If you want to subscribe this course, you would be able to subscribe. And the people who have stayed till now, we are giving only special function, special offer for the people who have stayed in now. Earlier, we were having a limited price of 20K for the self-paced training of this excellence.